So slicing it pretty close.
You have 30 seconds to get that down.
First day of classes.
When you start the meeting for the purpose of the recording and you state the date, time, place, there now we can just have that for the recording. If you would, thank you.
Somebody else had some chips on the chair.
Yes.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
It's Wednesday, August 2025, and it is 6 p.m. Time to start our regular city council meeting. Candace, you want to do a roll call?
Councilmember Norfeld,
Here.
Councilmember Stevens,
Here.
Councilmember Anderson,
Yes.
and Councilmember Beal.
Here. Thank you. Are there any public comments?
No.
Okay, then let's move on with the opening ceremony. Margie will offer us an opening prayer and Katie will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our Father in heaven, we're very grateful to be here this night. We're grateful for the opportunity that we have to serve in Ephraim government and for our many good citizens. We're grateful for all of them. We're thankful for this country. We're thankful for our state and the good things that are happening. We pray that we can be supportive of all the good things that are happening. Help us to be wise tonight and to be able to have clear thought as we make decisions. And these things we pray for in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Okay, please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
First item on our meeting is the primary election canvas. Are there any questions or you'd like to tell us a little bit about what it is and why we're doing it?
Okay. So I have before all of you the primary election results, and that's what this canvas is for tonight. The state requires that within 7 to 14 days after an election that we hold a canvas to certify those results. So I'm just going to go over this report with you, stating that this is a true and correct copy of what I understand to be accurate. So in the primary election for mayor, we had Stephen C. Brandt, who had a total vote of 47. Dennis Jr. Nordfeld had a total votes of 387. Candidate Chris Larson for mayor had a total votes of 776. And so in the mayor race, Stephen Brandt was the one that was eliminated. For city council, Melissa Missy Lee Corona had 197 total votes. 94, sorry, can't read. 94 votes. Eddie Christensen had 282 votes. Anna Johnson, 67. Osvaldo Jimenez Ortiz had 152. Lauren Dale Steck had 787. Tyra Taylor had 131. And Jack E. Deline had 491. So those eliminated from the moving on to the general election were Anna Johnson, Osvaldo Jimenez Ortiz, and Tyra Taylor. So these are some of the stats about the vote. On August 12th, Ephraim City had 2,373 active registered voters. The total number of ballots cast was 1,218, resulting in a 51.33% voter turnout. I want to pause for a second to talk about the voter turnout. Katie and I, just for fun, we looked it up to find out what the average voter turnout is in the state of Utah. And it was between 20 and 30% in almost every city.
Unless it's a presidential election and the.
Right.
But yeah, but for this municipality, for a municipal election, that is a huge voter turnout.
Good.
So we should be proud of our residents for their civic responsibility. Okay, so the ballot accounting summary. So total ballots counted, 1,218. Provisional ballots. So a provisional ballot is somebody who has never registered to vote, and it comes to election day. It's past the time frame where they can register to vote before the election, but they would still like to vote. So they go in, they say, I want to register to vote today and vote. So a provisional ballot is something they'll fill out and drop in, and then the day after election day, they will check to make sure they haven't voted anywhere else. And then they will double check everything that has to do with their voter registration. And if they qualify as a voter, then their provisional ballot counts. This is also in the case of people who have changed addresses and not updated their voter registration, and they don't get a ballot or something like that. So if there's any situation where they need to do some research and make sure they didn't vote somewhere else first, they'll do a provisional ballot. So Ephraim had a huge amount of one provisional ballot. And when they looked into it, everything qualified, so that one ballot did count. So number rejected is 0. The ballot cure process. So when you cure a ballot, when we're going through the ballot process, you're batching them in groups of 50. And as you go through, they have people that have gone through special classes for signature verification. It's not just any random person. You actually have to be trained on how to signature verify. They open them up, they look at the signatures, they compare them to your voter registration and any records that you have. And if your signature matches, they move you on. The county also does an audit. So every 50, they pull one, and they have somebody else audit it to make sure the signature verification is accurate. So they're very on top of that. But so if you come across a ballot where the signature doesn't match, it's unsigned, then you have to put it over to the curing process. And so at that point, they're going to call the person, because every ballot has a place for an email or a phone number. They're going to call that person and say, hey, did you vote? First question. If it's not signed, they're going to say, did you vote? And you didn't sign it. And then they have the option of coming into the county and signing it, or signing a cure paper and sending that over to the county, and then their ballot counts. So if they run across something where the signature does not match, the voter says they did not vote or something, then that ballot doesn't count. So in the cure process, there were 24 ballots cured, which means somebody's signature didn't match. And that person came in with their driver's license and proved that it was them, it was their ballot, and they verified it. And so those people are good to go. Now the ballots not counted, there were 18 total ballots for Ephraim that were not counted, and these are the reasons why. In the cure process, 6 of them, the signatures did not match the record. 3 of them were signed by someone other than the voter. So you guys think about this, just so you know, if you have any moms that have a missionary out and they're tempted to sign their missionary's ballot,
Worky.
not gonna work. So signed by someone other than the voter, and then 1 unsigned ballot. And then at the bottom, there were 8 ballots that came in after the deadline, and so they did not count because of the new law this year. If they come in after the deadline, they do not count. So this is your basic review of what our election results were. I have below that the precinct level results are attached, just so that you can see all of these numbers broken down by precinct as well. And then basically it says here, we, the Board of Canvassers, and that's what you are in the state of Utah, the legislative body is the Board of Canvassers for a municipality. We, the Board of Canvassers for the Ephraim City Municipal Election, do ensure that the above is a true report of the 2025 Ephraim Municipal Primary Election held on August 12th, and declare nominations to the general election to those with the highest votes, who are Dennis J. Nordfeld, Chris Larson for mayor, Melissa Missy Lee Corona, Eddie Christensen, Lauren Del Steck, and Jack E. Deline for city council. And then I will have all of you sign this one. This will be the original canvas copy. And then it just, once again, gives you these copies on the back are from the actual voting software from the county that the entire state uses. So you can actually see those numbers from the voting system. So you guys have any questions?
Just a comment question, on the ballots not counted, that's pretty low, isn't it?
Yes,
So that indicates pretty much that everybody's under what they're supposed to.
yes, that they were following instructions and signing themselves and
Okay,
yeah, it was great. So I'm gonna bring this up to have you guys sign. And then I also have our certificates of nomination for the candidates that are here tonight. I'll bring this up. And you want to start by signing that, Dennis, and here is your certificate of nomination.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Chris isn't here tonight. Nasib. Okay, let's see. Jack, there you are. Now, I know I saw you. Eddie must be working. So I'll send these over to him out then. And then I just need a motion, if you guys can make a motion to certify these election results.
To certify the results of the August 12th, 2025 municipal primary election as reflected in the canvass report, and declare those persons receiving the highest number of votes duly nominated to the general municipal election.
we have a first. Second. We have a first by council member Margie Anderson and a second by Anthony Beal, all in favor.
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay. Let's move on to the next item, the consent items. Any questions on the consent items? No. Okay, looking for a motion?
I move that we approve the consent items.
Second.
We have a motion by Anthony Beal for the first and a second by Councilmember Norfeld, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, we move on to the study agenda for our procurement policy. John Knudsen is going to speak to us and speak great words of wisdom.
Yeah. So this is just an update on our procurement policy. Our current one doesn't follow standard format, and this is to update the format, update to some state codes and everything. So this is all pretty much new in here. Do you have any questions at all, or should I go through it?
I look through them, and I don't have any questions in particular. Pretty straightforward for me.
Okay,
I looked through it also. Super boring.
Love that. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
yeah, you got that.
It's not unlike other
So, okay,
procurement policies.
and I'll just go through a couple of points here that I wanted to point out. Okay, so purchasing agent, that's set up as the city manager to administer the purchasing policy and the procedures. One thing I wanted to bring up was local bidder. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, but local bidder is a person or business with a business location operating in Sanpete County or in adjacent county. So adjacent county, Utah, Juab, Millard, Sevier, and Carver County. And that would consider those a local bidder.
pretty big geographical.
So, and again, it's a study, so this is all up for any discussion or change or anything at this point. So we've got it set up as 3 tiers. So tier 1 is a dollar value of 0 to 5,000. Tier 2 is 5,000 to 25,000. And then tier 3 is 25,000 plus. So the first tier is the department head can manage that. We can get bids or not. They don't need to, according to this language here. So it's a little bit easier to do some of the smaller, minor business operations. Then tier 2, 5,000 to 25,000 is where we start getting bids and looking at the lowest bidder, going with that. And then down there, we all have a local bidder preference where if they're 3% under the lowest bid, we could award that bid to that local bidder.
Is that pretty standard throughout the state?
Yeah, I think so. It's not something that they have to have, but I think it's pretty common for.
We do it here.
And we've got it set at 3%. I think some municipalities have that at 5%, so just a smaller percentage, but we've got it 3% right now.
You said 3% under, but if is it within 3% of the lowest bid?
So if the lowest bidder isn't a local, but then the local bid is 3% within
3%.
we could go,
Not under,
yeah,
but low.
gives preference to local bidders. See, 0.6 on that, any substantial deviation from the annual budget or any appropriation shall be approved by the city manager prior to such procurement. So it just gives the city manager authority to approve items that are not in the budget with these procurements, which is pretty standard that the city manager would approve anything that's outside of the budget. And then tier 3, greater than 25,000. These ones would all have to have a bid, and I'm just gonna read that first paragraph. Purchases of supplies, equipment, or contractual services of an estimated value of 25,000 or more shall be approved by the city council and by written contract with the lowest responsible bidder pursuant to the procedures hereinafter prescribed. Budget line item approval of such purchase by the city council shall constitute authorization to commence the bidding process and enter into a purchase contract pursuant to the requirements set forth herein. So that one, the way I'm reading that, is if we have a budget, that's your approval for us to go ahead and put that service or whatever out to bid. And again, this has the local bidder preference of 30%. Any questions on any of those before we go to section 4? Okay. So section 4 exceptions, so we do have some exceptions to the bidding process and the purchase policy here. Purchases over an estimated value of 25,000 are to be reviewed and approved by the city council. So this is where you will be approved or involved with the procurement policy. So again, those tiers, we could change them. If you're good at 25,000, we can leave it, but that's where it's set for now. Some of the bigger cities have that and a higher dollar amount because they want to see every little thing that's going on. That would take forever, but we're good with 25,000 as that cutoff. We can leave it there. And then we also have some professional services contracts in there as an exception to have to go out to bid. So professional services shall include but not be limited to the following: auditing, architecture, banking, insurance, engineering, accounting services, information technology, appraisals, legal services, and other consulting services. Professional service contracts shall be awarded based on professional qualifications, serviceability, cost of service, and other criteria deemed important by the city council. So that gives us a little bit of leeway, not leeway necessarily, but ability to kind of pick and choose services that we think are best for the city. Couple things, additional work or change orders. Any change orders, scope of work changes, extension of work, or other additions or corrections to existing contracting services, supplies, equipment, or materials, whether constituting a reduction or increase in bid amount to a current or change order is no 15% of the original bid. The city council shall be notified of any change orders more than 15%. So again, no areas you would be involved with. Think that's everything I'm going to hit. I know it's super exciting, right? This is been a long time coming, and it's something we've needed for a while, and I think it's a good start to get this kind of streamlined and consistent with each department across the cities.
Thanks, Joe, for your work.
Looks good.
Okay, thanks.
Are there any questions that we need to address John with? There's nothing. Hey, I'm looking for motion.
No.
No white study agenda.
Yep.
Okay.
Boy, I almost blew that one, didn't I?
We wouldn't have let you do it.
We'll do it next time.
Yeah, next time. Okay. Katie, would you tell us
Yeah.
about 40 from Square?
Yes. Okay. First of all, this is my first Canva presentation I put together. I'm pretty proud of it. So, all right. So, what is Fort Ephraim Square? Probably everybody knows that Ephraim at one time had a fort. And it is located around the area where the co-op and the granary and the Bishop Storehouse is, in that area. So kind of this area right here. Here is what things look like right now. If you see right here, there was the fire a couple of weeks ago. And I have to say, this area looks a lot better right now because Soap Creek Manufacturing went out and did a big service project for us and weeded in this area. So, but we have a very not aesthetically pleasing back section here. This building right here, if you can see that, that's a shed. It is not of historic significance. And then you'll also see, here's the CCA Christensen cabin here. And this is the front.
Building next to the CCA is that shed.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So there's been some things going on recently that made us think that perhaps it's time to do some renovations, specifically in the back portion here. And some of those things that are going on. So just an evolution of the space. So we now have, can you hear me, Bonnie? Sorry. We have, in the co-op, we have the Snow College there. Also, we have been contacted through the DUP, family members of CCA Christensen desiring to move the cabin from its current location over to Pioneer Park. Also, as you might remember from our last council meeting, we have had Granary Arts has left the Granary building, and right now we're working with the San Pete Chamber of Commerce, who wants to move into that building and have a potential retail lab in that space. And with that brings the potential for some grant funding. And also focus on downtown was one of the key items that our city council was interested in doing in their past retreat. So we have an interest to make sure that our downtown is a vibrant place to be. And so before we get too ahead of ourselves or over our skis, I just want to let you know kind of how things are and what comes next. So we're not going to move too fast on this. What we are hoping to do, goodness, okay, is we need to set up a meeting with the family to clarify that they are interested in paying for the moving of the cabin. We are interested in, I think the city would be able to prepare the footings, Jeff, foundation, yes, for the cabin. And the location would be right near the bathrooms, is that correct, Jeff? Right west of the bathrooms. Yeah. So that would be our part of it, as well as disconnecting the power here at its current location and reconnecting it at the next location. Another thing we need to do is remove that shed. It is not serving a purpose right now, and we're going to put that on surplus unless you tell me not to. I think that we need to surplus that. I think that wood could be reused, or somebody might be interested in buying that and putting it on their own property. And
You're talking about. You said it.
that's correct. It's this building right here. Yeah. An old granary. Yes. Yes, but the city do not need it, so it is available or will be available soon. And then I am envisioning that our Historic Preservation Board is going to head up the public input on this space. And so we really need individuals who are interested in Ephraim and preserving our buildings. I would love for people to put in applications to serve on that board. And then they will work with the community on the vision for the space. And at the same time, we will be applying for grants and budgeting funds to rework this space. Realistically speaking, it's probably not going to be until 2027, 2028 when we actually get anything done. But what we want to do right now is just clear the decks and start working with the community with what they would like to see in this space. So I just wanted to bring you up to speed specifically about surplusing the granary, that second building, and make sure that everybody knows that that's what we're planning to do unless you tell me not to. And then a plea for people to apply to be on the Historic Preservation Board. Because this is going to be a really fun project. Yes. So what questions can I answer?
I'm assuming that in the future, at some point, when this kind of gels just a little bit more, you will be asking for input from the community,
Yes.
and whomever has input, they might be heard.
Absolutely. I think the best projects are the projects that involve our community members. And, you know, one individual can say, oh, it would be great if it was this, or if it would be great if it was that. But until you really bring in the community, you come up with something that you hadn't thought of that is amazing. So something organic that is uniquely Ephraim. So right now we're calling it Fort Ephraim Square, and we're looking forward to seeing what the community would like to see there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks. Mhm.
Sorry, I guess I did have a question on that. What's the best way to get the ball rolling with old grant?
So what's gonna happen is that we're taking pictures of it, and John is going to be putting it on a surplus website, our own website. Do it locally. Okay, yeah, so we were already starting to look at how to get that done. I think I heard you talking to Aubrey about that today. Yeah, okay, all right.
Okay. We'll next move on to the action agenda. Salt Creek rezone, Megan?
All right, so Soap Creek has purchased some property, on the west side of town, by Ephraim Crossing, west of Ephraim Crossing. They are planning on expanding their business here in Ephraim. They have grown a lot, they're producing some great things. So they're wanting to rezone the property that they have purchased to the industrial zone. They will be building some new buildings. It will be done in phases. But they're just hoping to, yeah, there we go. So you see Larson Lane is that road kind of going out to it. There's some infrastructure and stuff that they'll be putting in. But I think this is gonna be really good for Ephraim. It's gonna provide more jobs and stuff like that, so that'll be great. The applicant is here if you would like to ask them any questions, but the planning commission unanimously voted to approve the rezone.
Council, is there any questions on this? So tell us about the zoning we're moving forward.
Oh, sorry. So a couple of the parcels are in the agricultural zone and the other two are in the commercial zone. So they would like for all of their parcels to be industrial. So that it meets the,
And the planning and zoning unanimously approved it.
yes, they did.
And it does fit into our future plan as industrial.
Yes.
Thank you.
Fred or Christine, I'd love to hear from you if you're willing, or if you have anything you'd like to say. I don't know, Katie, if that's okay.
Pictures to show of the buildings. I thought that was pretty good too, last week.
Oh,
Thanks for being here.
yeah. I'll let Fred take it from here.
Put it, get in the microphone. So
Yeah.
that everybody out there. Just segment that a little bit.
So right now then, Red, you're looking at the first of 3 or 4 phases down there. That you're looking for.
Well, right now, he's just looking for the zoning.
Yes, but
That's the plan,
yeah, that's the plan for today. And so getting this through, when would you expect to start construction after you get all your ducks in a row and everything else on there?
So we are in the middle of design right now, tentatively would break ground as early in the spring as possible. On building 1. And these would be concrete tilt-up buildings. The first of its kind in Ephraim. So
And about how big is each building?
each one of the buildings would be a little over 100,000 square feet. And then there's 2 smaller pieces that could be built out to some leased commercial space for doctor's office or whatever. So,
Questions?
It'll be, oh, sorry.
Would there be retail space for your products in your building?
there could be.
This is a
And everything's already stubbed out. the infrastructure, all of that, all over down Larson Lane, or that's what we're,
We'll have to take the utilities from where they're doing that crossing right now on down to the property. There'll be quite a bit of work involved with that.
And you're working close with Brian on this to make it,
That is correct.
okay. Any questions, other questions?
just thank you for bringing jobs to.
And
what you guys
thanks
are doing.
for taking care of our parks.
Glad to help. It worked out really good for us this week. So we're waiting for some materials and we're gonna keep our crews busy. So.
Worked out really good for us. too.
Do some work.
We need to get them on the agenda more often.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, if there's no questions, I'm looking for a motion.
I move that we approve the Soap Creek rezone.
Second.
Second, we have a first by Councilmember Norfeld, second by Councilmember Esposito. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
If there's need to be more specific than that, Ken's, that's good enough.
What we need to add?
They're industrial. They're industrial.
Motion passes. All right. We're looking for a construction standards revision.
So we talked about this at the last meeting, we are going to update construction standards. Previously, originally adopted in 1999, they haven't really had any real significant upgrades, and thought it was time to make sure we're doing what needs to be done. So in this update, we're looking primarily at a couple of things, cleaning up some things with the water and the water meters, cleaning up some things with the road standards as far as how thick the road needs to be, the asphalt, things like that. Making sure that we have storm drain requirements covered. And then some stuff on traffic control, submittals, how that's handled. And also allowing, don't have something in our standards. There's a more nationally recognized set of standards, APWA, that's Public Works Association. And theirs is much more comprehensive than ours is, so we can use that when we need to, or also accept that with city engineer approval. Any questions? What you have in your packet is the completed version. Last time we had a red line version, so the changes are in your packet now. And if you choose to accept it, I would just maybe ask for allowing staff to make some technical formatting and stuff like that for the final version.
Any questions for Brian?
I move that we approve ordinance 25-10, amending the development guidelines and standards, providing for repealer, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. I may have given a lot more information than you needed.
Motion,
Second.
second by Anthony. Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Margie and second by Anthony. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. This is going faster than when we have Mayor Scott here, doesn't it?
I think you're on a roll.
So we're on a roll here.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, let's look at council reports. Let's start with.
I don't have a whole lot. I thought doesn't really pay the fine, but there was a booth last night for the library at Main Street stroll. I was gonna call it a crawl. I think that collaboration between the college and Ephraim City was good, and appreciate the Colby's team with the and Snow College. So both of us were helping with the traffic and those types of things, but keeping Highway 89 open was smart, but also limiting some of that. It was great. I hope that's something we'll continue doing. Youth City Council, no updates. But yeah, I think things are going well. We do have a new board person for the library. It's the current one is moving to Virginia. So that's good. That's all I got.
Okay.
I don't really have anything, but, I liked last night that they had the local doctors and medical providers there that students could come and talk to. That was good. I think there were many more students than there were community members, but when they played, let's see, what was it? Ain't No Mountain High Enough, the group, man, the students started dancing it up. They had a really good, and I liked it. It is. I am planning on going on Monday to listen to Representative Owens up in Fairview.
Red Board decided not to have a meeting this month, so, but we had a couple of our new planning commission members at the meeting last week and got involved, so that's exciting. That's all I have.
On my side, fire department responded to the fire over west 4 different times. It seems like the wind did catch it and started up again and put lots and lots and lots of water on it. So I think they are in the process now of getting a dozer in there and covering the wash up so that it'll bury it. Had some kudos yet today for the power department when the power went out last night out by Los Amigos. They worked a good part of the night getting the new transformer back in. The transformers are blowing, so compliments to them. Okay, Katie?
Yes. Speaking of power, I just returned from UAMP's conference and my brain is full. And so there are some important decisions that need to be made at the start of next year, talking about our contract with UAMPS. So our new council members, so our candidates are gonna need to pay attention because if you end up on council, you're gonna have to make a decision. So when I am having when there's something on the agenda talking about power and UAMPS, I need you to pay attention, okay? So, because it's very complicated. Anyway, so we've got that going on and just really want to say thank you to Michael who helped with the stroll, the Badger stroll, a resounding success by all accounts, and hopefully the first of many more to come. That's it.
I guess that brings the agenda to a close, so we have a motion on the floor.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
And all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.